Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer is Fun, a Summer House podcast. We've made it. Season 7, episode 15, the finale. Could have happened 7 episodes
The end of
ago, if you
summer
ask
is
me.
finally here.
Fucking thank God. But I think the reunion's gonna be good. So let's leave it
I
at.
I'm like ready to move past this finale
Yeah.
just to get to the reading because that teaser clip got me excited.
Yeah, for sure. So check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have It's About the Pasta, Vanderpump Rules podcast, which is hot, hot, hot right now. And we have One Season Wonders, which only Sarah listens to. So thank you. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta, and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows where Meredith and I talk about obviously Love Island. And then also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons, we do an after show so we can talk about Bravo News on there without giving away spoilers on the actual episode. So that's what you get for $2 a month. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Brittany, Chris, Danae, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Lady Swamp Witch, Laura, Lauren, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Sarah, Taylor, and Tiffany.
Thank
God, I'm gonna be
you.
so sad when you guys leave us because the live seasons are over. And I get it, but like
But
come
come
back.
back for the next
Yeah,
live season.
because there will
Baby,
be
come back
more.
to me.
Emma, I actually really love that song. Okay, okay, and then for where am I? What am I doing? Oh, I don't know. Oh, here
For
for
five
$5,
dollars.
you think I would know this by now. For $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live seasons, I will post. You get to give us your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns. Aren't y'all proud of me? I remember before I got in an airplane last night.
Oh, good job,
I was
Alicia.
late, but it was before I boarded, so
Good
could have been
job.
worse. Um, Also, we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode is Brittany. Brittany is a
Woohoo!
relatively new patron. So we thank you, but she gave some thoughts for after the show. And so, Brittany, we welcome you with open arms into our exclusive group. I almost said cult, but
We
we've
got
gotten
yelled
yelled
at.
at before.
But thanks for
So
sharing your opinions too.
it's not a cult, Brittany. It's just Bravo. Okay, what do I want to do now? What do we do?
Tell me what happened this season.
Oh my God, wild. A
Or
lot
do we have any
happened.
opinions before we kick off?
No, Tonette just asked or said, I wish we knew like what songs they were dancing to in the kitchen late night.
Oh, totally
Which
get
is,
that.
yeah.
They should really come
I
out with like a summer house playlist of like what they were listening to that summer. I bet it
we
actually exists.
listen,
I've never
unless
looked it up.
I don't care about songs unless we get the theme song back. We got a
Oh, yeah.
star. I loved that.
Yeah, it is a sad loss that we took.
Sunset to sunrise. That's it. Okay, so previously this season on Summer House, we partied, we did boats. Corey and Sam fell in love, and they're gonna hang out after the summer. Chris fucked Lauren, and he's so good in bed, he got an 8. Gabby got cheated on with her ex by Danielle and some other girls. So Gabby is shut off now, but she went on a blind date with Matt. Sierra wants to meet the love of her life, but she also has fewer eggs than average. As I was writing this, I was like, if people didn't watch this season, they would be so fucking confused.
This like previously on was very all over the place. I was so confused why so much of this was in
Yeah, as
there.
soon as it was like Sierra wants to meet the love of her life, but also might have fewer eggs than average. And I was
I was
like,
like,
no one knows.
really want to make that an
So
all-encompassing theme of the season, but sure.
Craig wants to move in, but Paige doesn't want to yet, and she can't leave her mom. Amanda hasn't gotten her period in a while, but she's not infertile. Oliver and Maya are still dating, but she got a weird DM from a random. Carl proposed to Lindsay and told no girls, and Danielle was hurt by that. Carl and Lindsay left the summer house last weekend and they took a whole cake, but they came back without a cake for the end of summer party.
When they rolled up, I was like, I'm gonna need an explanation of like why you decided to come back.
The cake. You'd be like, did
Well,
you bring the cake back?
did you eat all the cake?
You know, that's all Amanda wanted to ask. If not for this
Honestly,
fight, she would have been like, hey, not to pick my own fight, but you
but
guys
where's
took
the
the cake.
cake?
So it's Sunday, 2:51 p.m. Carl and Lindsay are back. Kyle cannot believe it. Carl appreciates that Kyle was supportive on Friday night. Kyle said, in a perfect world, we can all find common ground. But Carl's hurt because he seems like the bad guy and he did something wrong. So he just needed space. And Kyle's like, I get it, but
You kind of made it worse.
yeah, he's like, by leaving, you made it a bigger deal than it was. And like, man, you took a whole cake. Of course, the girls are gonna be so fucking mad.
I always am confused with, I feel like Carl doesn't explain himself well in interviews where like on the Friday night, like when he's talking to Robert, it wasn't a big deal, but then he like blew up and he was upset. But we never got like an explanation, I'll say, from Carl, like what he's upset about. So I'm always really confused about Carl and his emotions.
Lindsay says it later that Carl is like a people pleaser, which like I get, but also I don't think Carl should apologize for doing the proposal the way he wanted to, but he could be like
sympathetic towards her feelings.
Like, I didn't mean to hurt Danielle. Truly, like he could easily just say, like, they all could fucking, I don't understand why 40-year-olds can't communicate. I really think someone, and I'm gonna put it on Carl, even though I don't think Carl's to blame, but if Carl had just said, like, look, I really wasn't thinking about Danielle and that's my bad. Like, I really was just so nervous and so focused. And obviously,
but I don't think that's what happened.
We would love for Danielle to be part of it. Yeah, I don't think so either. But then my other thing is, if that's not it, be like, look, Danielle and Lindsay aren't getting along, so I didn't tell Danielle because Lindsay wouldn't want that. It's like they are literally just trying to ghost Danielle while living with her. Like, just I can tell the girl.
But even just with like Carl on his like own stuff, like he came in so mad when he cleaned up all of his stuff.
Oh my god, it was like out. The fact that Lindsay was like, don't get activated.
So I'm like, I'm super confused where Carl's at, because I'm just like, are you mad? What are you mad specifically about?
What are you like really mad at?
Yeah,
and, like give me your thoughts.
Be honest here.
Yeah. So Carl just feels like this summer everyone's been questioning him and it's been toxic with the transitions in life.
Which I don't think it has been. I think things with Danielle have been toxic, but the rest of the house not so much.
But isn't it wild that it became toxic because Danielle said it's weird?
I'm so confused.
I want someone at the reunion to be like, why are you offended by the word weird?
Yes.
If we had said it's stupid, okay, or like it's improbable,
your relationship's a joke, or like something that was really a straight up diss.
But it is weird.
It is.
It's weird. It can get weird.
I don't know. I don't think I understand Carl and Lindsay's like side of this beef as much.
I get that after the engagement, I get their beef.
I totally get that.
I don't get their beef before the engagement.
Yeah.
But I get Danielle's beef before the engagement, but not
after.
Yeah,
Agreed.
It's weird. So, so Kyle hopes that they plan on talking to Danielle. Lindsay agrees that they should talk earlier rather than later, which they didn't because Danielle was drunk by the time we talked.
So angry with this because I knew there was no way they were going to talk early. And how is Kyle like the voice of reason? He's doing a really good job of great. Like he's trying to explain what's going on to Lindsay and Carl.
Agreed. So Corey's getting fake tattooed for the safari party. Sam and Danielle agree that tattoos are hot. Personally, I love an arm sleeve. I think that's really hot.
I've never been into someone who has tattoos. Like I've never dated or like gone on dates with someone with them, but I do think they look really hot on people.
Oh my god! Can I just tell you the quickest, funniest?
It's just not my type of person. That I'm
gonna tell you the quickest, funniest story. When I was a junior, I was hanging out with a senior, but he made it very clear that this is in high school, by the way. He made it very clear he was going to go away to college and didn't want a girlfriend, but I was so in love with him. I was like, no problem. And we hung out literally all year and all summer. And then he left for college and I was like sad about it. And then he came back from college, professed his love for me. But I said, if you go to college single, I'm going to go to college single. So that's whatever. So then during COVID, I was in my car and I saw this guy with a sleeve running. I was like, oh, that guy's hot. So we did a U-turn to go check him out because I had nothing better to do because it was COVID and I hadn't seen like a real man besides my father in like, I don't know, 8 weeks. And so I drive past him. I'm like, oh my God, that's him. My crush. And he looked way hot. When I tell you I'm still obsessed with this man, if he ever listens to if anyone knows who I'm talking about and wants to just like hint him that I'm obsessed with him still, My God. Anyway,
Man.
sorry, that's my whole thing. Okay,
Love
so
that.
Kyle's wearing a big blow up tiger. Lindsay goes looking for Gabby in the downstairs bathroom where Danielle is. And it's really awkward because Lindsay says hi to everyone but Danielle, and Danielle
Oh,
doesn't really say hi to her either.
I like this would piss me off in the house. Like you're making things so awkward for every single other
Yeah,
person
listen,
because she stays around for a while. It's not just like she's like finding Gabby, grabs her, and like goes and does something. It's like she's standing there saying hi to everyone and just pretending like Danielle's invisible.
if I was, and listen, I'm not involved as Sam or Gabby, but I probably would have been like, you should say hi to Danielle.
Yeah.
But like, who am I to say? And Danielle in her interview, you can tell she's tearing up the whole interview, but she says that she's happy they're here. She wants them to finish the summer with them, and she's hopeful. Which I was like, ooh, hope it's crushed really easy.
Okay,
So
even if you don't see Danielle's side, I think Danielle's winning the interviews. Like she's coming across
yeah,
like she cares so much. Her feelings are
it's hard
there.
to root against someone who cares.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And
is.
I don't think Lindsay and Carl's interviews
They
have the
don't care.
same level that I'm like, ooh, Danielle's really winning the interviews in my book.
Yeah, it's different. So Lindsay basically told Carl, because Carl like wanted to leave. He was out, he was done. And Lindsay basically said, hey, guess what? We can't run away from our issues. So you get one day and then we're going back. And I gotta respect Lindsay for this. She ain't no punk. She knows what's expected of her.
I'm happy she did this. This felt like more of an at least that somewhat of an explanation that I was looking for of like, why did you guys come back? I found it weird that they came back, but I'm
Me
glad
too,
they're like,
punk ass Carl's gonna leave.
let's finish it. Like,
Fuck
come
off.
on.
Yeah. So okay, Sierra's doing like a full avatar look.
Insane.
Paige and Craig are flamingos. Kyle has his blow up tiger safari man. Maya's poison ivy. I don't know what Corey and Sam are, but they're like Jane and Tarzan, and they're hot.
They look so good together,
shit.
separate, insane.
I would hook up with either of them, honestly. They're so hot. Okay, Sierra, though her costume looks super dope as an avatar, I've never seen Avatar, and this seemed like a lot of work.
I went on a date to it. It was the worst movie.
Oh
I've
my
ever
God, it's
seen.
4 hours.
I know. Terrible.
Gabby's rocking a pixie cut. She hugs Carl, and like he thanks her for a text that she sent him, like he appreciates it. So I guess Gabby's keeping in touch. Chris looks like Indiana Jones. Amanda's a cheetah, and then Danielle comes in, and it's super awkward because her and Lindsay do not say hello.
God, because like
I would
Danielle is looking like towards the kitchen island, and so is Lindsay, but Lindsay like won't turn to have Danielle in her viewpoint.
I would have, if I'm Danielle, I would have totally been like, hi, Lindsay, nice to see you.
I really think Danielle should have.
Just so everyone can see I'm not being petty.
I'm trying to not have tension here. Like I'm trying to make this still a group thing.
I'm cool. Are you mad?
I'm the cool girl.
Person. I'm cool girl. Okay, so now it's party time. Oliver's here. Maya's a little cold towards him. We find out why later, but at this point I was like, God, these two don't like each other.
Oh, you can really tell Maya's trying to keep everything off camera.
Yes.
And it is pissing me off.
Girl, if you're gonna be on this show, you gotta be on this show, okay?
Yeah.
So after she saw the DM, she asked Oliver over text about it, and he glossed over it. And now she's suspicious, but this is a private issue, so they'll deal with it.
No.
And I was like, nah, he agrees to wear a mic. It's not a private issue anymore.
I know, especially like you can tell like when they filmed the actual party, she is unwilling to talk about it. She doesn't want any of it on camera, but they obviously got her. And so she has to now backtrack and talk about this in interviews.
Yeah, sucks. So Corey takes a shot and then pours it from his mouth into Sam's mouth. But we know she likes to be people to spin her mouth. So
she says it's more than just, you know, pulling her hair and spitting in her mouth. She actually likes him.
They're connecting on real levels. And this was not on her bingo card. Danielle doesn't know how to handle today, and some girl is like, be the bigger person and go say hi. And Danielle's like, I heard Carl call me toxic negativity. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, don't play into their hand and be like toxic and
go say hi. Be like, I'm not even toxic. Party continues. Craig talks to Amanda. He's like, hey, how far away from how long did it take you to get to Kyle's when you guys started
Like, this
dating?
is not fair. They lived in New York together.
I literally was like, sir, not only did they both live in New York, but it wasn't even in a New York long distance because you can tell Kyle lives in Murray Hill, probably, and Amanda's definitely in Manhattan somewhere,
in the
probably like
early seasons.
Soho or Tribeca area. So they are not that far. Okay, she's not like in Brooklyn and he's Upper East Side. That's a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
They were a 15-minute car. The fact that they can even take cars to each other shows you how close they are.
That's insane.
They're a car ride away from each other. So Amanda said she didn't want to live together until
They
her
were
and Kyle were engaged. But Paige wants to move in before they're engaged, and Craig doesn't. And Amanda advises Craig to spend more time like consecutively with each other. So like do 2 month stints in New York and then like 2 month stints in Charleston.
Well, I don't think the location matters. It's just that they're not
That's true. I'm just
visiting, quote unquote, each other. They're traveling in a Paige says it later, in a unit. Like wherever one goes, the other follows.
Yeah, definitely. So you either date until you get married or then you break up. So Amanda tells him if they don't do either of those things, then they're going to be in the same weird place. Which I was like, Amanda, have your girls back for a minute. Like she's
well, also like, come on, obviously you're either going to date or you're going to break up. There's two options here. Like, or one of you dies.
We're either going to get married.
Oh yeah.
Or break up.
Sorry. Yes.
So some girl named Christina strikes up a conversation with Oliver, and Maya calls him over and is like, what the fuck? Stop mingling with women. And
okay,
like gets
this
mad
made
at
me feel
him.
like they had a conversation off camera before this party. Like since she saw the text and before this party where she basically like confronted him about stuff and is like pissed that he's, I don't know, it's just weird that he's even here. They're mad at each other.
It sounds like she said something like, don't talk to women at the party, and then he did that. Listen, I don't think what Oliver did in this situation, like from me not knowing anything, right? Like I don't know he cheated on her at this point. So I was like, I mean, I did, but also like I didn't know enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, she came over and was just like, hey, what's up? I'm Christina. Like it could have been
very
the most
chill,
honest, innocent conversation, but Maya got really mad.
I know.
So I was like, I don't know what's happening.
And it's like, what is he supposed to do? Just stand exactly by your side or by an actual cast member's side for the rest of the day?
But Maya's like avoiding him. So no.
I know. It's so weird.
No.
I hated this so much.
I did too. That's why we gotta have this on fucking camera, Maya. So it's 5:24. The party continues. Gabby invited Matt, her blind date.
I'm kind of shocked. I didn't feel like they had vibes as much as inviting him out to the summer house.
Didn't he ask like what her favorite food was or something like kind of weird?
There were a lot of weird questions, which like I'm here for like the non-standard questions, like spice it up. But it just didn't feel like she was like that into it to bring him to the last party of this season.
I don't know. Maybe she's just. My mom always says this, and I disagree, but she always says give someone 2 dates before you shut them out. So maybe they did like another mini date. I don't know. I probably not. I don't know. But she's trying to change small aspects about how she comes off. So that means giving people a chance that she might not have before. So I think she was like, Matt's nice enough. He's gonna bring 2 of his friends, so I won't have to babysit him.
True. But she is very guarded. So I'm glad she's kind of like dropping some walls and some criteria.
So Lauren's here. If you don't remember Lauren, she fucked Chris and gave him an 8. And Chris does talk to her. He asks if she's a fairy because she is like wearing a fairy costume. Yeah. And she's like, no. And he goes, a tooth fairy.
She goes, no, jungle themed. I was like,
I don't know what it is.
I thought maybe lightning bug, but what does that have to do with the jungle?
I'm looking up a jungle fairy. Like Tinker?
A jungle fairy. No. I think she was like a lightning bug or some type of like
a fly.
A horse pulled out an animal and called it jungle theme.
Yeah, I don't know what. She was yellow. Oh, maybe lightning bug. She was yellow and blue.
Nothing that I'm
Interesting.
like, oh, that's what she
never
is.
found out the answer.
No, I'm going
I'm with Chris.
Lightning Bug.
She did look like a tooth fairy. I'm with him. So Maya's like talking to two girls, and then all of a sudden about Oliver, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, cameras are on us now.
What,
Rude.
girlie?
Get
What do
off
you
the
think is
show.
happening?
Do not resign for season 8 ever."
Even if there isn't a camera on you, like you're mic'd up, all that's being recorded.
The producers on these shows have openly said they hear everyone. So the minute you start talking, they switch cameras onto you.
Yes.
Like immediately. So Sierra does an avatar dance. She drops her ear. Chris almost chops off Kyle's tiger head. Both Lindsay and Danielle are talking about each other at the same time to different people.
God. I was so mad about this equally.
Sam and Corey are being gross, hot, cute together because they're doing those like gross kisses things where if anyone else did it, I'd be like, ew. But because it's Corey and Sam,
so much.
it's like weirdly hot. I don't know. So then Craig pulls Paige to talk. He kind of weirdly pretends to propose, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm in feathers. I would kill you."
I died laughing.
I did too. And so then they sit down and they're like, feel like 80-year-olds watching their kids have a house party, which was also hilarious.
Yes. I feel like I would be on this train. It's like been a long
Can
summer.
I ask? I think Craig is a great boyfriend, and I support Paige in whatever she wants to do, but he is so goddamn mediocre, right? Like there was zero special things about Craig to me. Am I wrong?
I don't know of them, but I don't mind that. Like I don't want to see all the special things he does for her, because then I feel like it's fake.
Like as a person, he is the most mediocre white man,
just on its head. Yeah, I agree. But he could do, I'm saying, like he could be an amazing boyfriend behind the scenes and does like, and they have like this great connection, and he like may do all these things. I have no idea, but it would piss me off if like she posted like he bought her flowers every single time. You know what I'm saying?
I just think as a person I've seen on my TV for, I don't know, 9 years.
Yeah, but again, we've seen him in the Southern Charm lens. Like that's.
But even if he's arguing and I hate him, he is still just like the most average white man. I mean, there has been nothing special like actually radiating off of him.
What is the rest of the white men population though? Like,
yeah, is my point. I mean, of the white men in this summer house, Corey has a little something, little spice to him. He's funny.
Yeah, funny. Even like Kyle.
Kyle's funny, and he has like a weird mullet, and I think
like
he wants to get
very
the party
businessy
started.
Like,
yeah, Chris is Latino, so he can salsa. Andrea's Italian accent. Luke makes fires. Craig literally exists.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, okay.
Nothing.
Okay. All right. I see.
I just had to say it. I hate to think my standards are higher than Paige, but I wouldn't date Craig. Like I wouldn't.
I think I would have to like get to know him where like we had such great like personality like clicks that it would be something.
No, my personality would fucking destroy him.
Yours wouldn't, but I'm saying like that's the only way it would work, is if like
true
humor was like right on and like personalities clicked.
Which it's not with Craig. I refuse. So Craig tells Paige he was talking to Amanda about how he's not going to propose because there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. And Paige is like, no, I totally get that, but you put a lot of pressure on us. And Craig's like, well, here's my timeline. And so he wants to have kids in 5 years. And that means they have to get married before they have kids. And that means they have to get engaged. And that means they have to live together. So like,
it's funny to see a man put this timeline together.
Lindsay can write it better, but
yeah. Where's the napkin when we need it?
Yeah. So Craig just wants to start this process. And Paige is like, no, totally get that. But like, also no.
Like,
and then she tells Craig that he gets so scared. Like if they don't do these things now, she's going to like run away. And he's like, yeah, because things are too good to be true. And Paige is like, look, I want to be with you. Like if I didn't want to be with you, I wouldn't. And she's like, I know you were the right decision. We just have to take our time with this next step. And they need to start going into each other's lives. So they're kind of going to both move in with each other. Like if Paige needs to be in New York, he's going to come with her and like stay and move in with her for as long as she needs to be there, and vice versa when he needs to be in Charleston.
Which so I think this is a good middle step. And I think he needs to see that like a next thing is coming. or like what the next thing is to feel like it is moving forward. He needs
Yes. It has only been a year, my dude. Like you got
agreed. I think the pressure is coming from Lindsay and Carl's fast-paced relationship.
I mean, on year like 4, Kyle was still cheating on Amanda. So
Okay.
like
that is not the model relationship.
I know, but like just take some time because these relationships aren't perfect.
I agree. And it is kind of wild. They really haven't like lived for like periods of time together, no matter where the location was. That is a really good next step. Like they should do that before they actually commit to living with each other in one location.
So Craig just wants to get engaged, and Paige is like, not right now, but I'm not going anywhere. And then Craig says he doesn't want to fuck it up, which I don't believe he's gonna fuck it up with Paige, but do I think Craig in general is a fuck up? Yeah.
I see his anxiety because he kind of is like a tornado.
He could easily fuck it up.
Yes,
is what we're saying. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like I'm Craig in that way, where I'm like, well, when will my crazy brain take over and just destroy the world?
I am Paige. I am perfect. Nothing. I could never fuck anything up.
Paige,
it's everyone else's problem.
Oh man.
So Kyle loves Amanda's little butt. They can't believe the summer's over. And then Amanda's like, yo, I haven't talked to Lindsay or Carl, but neither has Danielle. And Kyle's like, I think they're gonna reconcile. And Amanda's like, I don't. The strongest couple in the house is really doing good.
Also, Amanda looks fucking fire.
Oh my god,
she annoyed me because I'm so jealous.
Everyone stop. I have a giant crush on Amanda, although I miss her ginormous boobs.
I know you do.
And I miss her in a like ginormous boobs in a bikini.
Yeah,
that was
then,
very
like,
fun.
jean shorts.
Oh my god, I love Amanda. She's so hot. So Craig keeps fucking around that him and Paige got engaged. And
that was so funny.
He's like, hey, Paige, so show Sam the ring. And Paige is like, no, what? And Sam's freaking out. Do the same with Corey. And Sam's basically like, if you did that, she'd dump your ass. Paige is like,
not
I'm in those feathers. I'm in feathers at a jungle party. Like, it better not. So then Danielle and Lindsay both are in the kitchen at the same time. And there are other people and they're all doing different things. Eventually, there's a cheers.
Really quick, we knew that they were going to have this conversation shortly after this scene first started because we've seen the previews. I kept thinking one of them must have told everybody to leave the kitchen. So I kept waiting to see who would be like, hey guys, can we talk?
Nope.
No.
Quite the opposite. So they do a cheers with 2 other people. And then these 2 other people right next to them go into a conversation. But you can tell Lindsay and Danielle's mics are turned up.
Yes.
Because they start having a conversation. And then the other 2 proceed to fucking get the hell out of the kitchen.
They realize the situation. They're like,
they're like, not our place. So Danielle says she wishes the engagement was more like this. And she just wants to celebrate their happiness. And Lindsay's like,
I thought that was really sweet, by the way.
Yeah, because Danielle's like, I don't think you know that. And Lindsay's like, yeah, I don't know that.
I was like, whoa.
Lindsay, okay, just to paint, Danielle has clearly been drinking. Lindsay clearly has not been. So already this conversation shouldn't happen. Like, agreed. Right there. As soon as a sober person, I'm not saying you have more responsibility on you, but I'm just saying you have more brain power at this point. When Danielle said that, Lindsay should have said, I know, and we should talk later.
I agree. Or like, that was really nice.
Thank you. We should talk later.
It wasn't like the nice thing Danielle said, which was very heartfelt, was not acknowledged. It was actually shot down, being like,
yeah, I don't think
you care for
me. Okay. So Lindsay, though, this is a genius tactic. Lindsay does that thing the whole time where she's condescending. Everything Danielle says, she's going to say 1 to 2 words back that's going to anger Danielle.
Yeah.
So
she's really instigating this fight on the down low.
Yeah, that's the thing, is she didn't lose her cool, but she's adding fuel, like slowly. So Danielle just wants to celebrate Lindsay, and Lindsay said, oh, last Saturday was like the perfect opportunity. And Danielle says she found out about the engagement 30 minutes before. And Lindsay says because Carl didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Which is such bullshit. I hate that excuse.
Just tell Danielle we were fighting. We weren't in a good place.
100%. But all these other people had to fly in. Like, you weren't worried they were going to ruin the surprise. And it's like,
that's the other thing is so many people flew in
yes,
for the surprise.
that is like
so many.
I don't like their like reasons they didn't tell Danielle. Just own it or just don't say anything at all.
So many people flew in. So then Danielle says she thought they were best friends, and Lindsay says she did too. And Danielle says, like, it was like, why didn't you think that would hurt me? That like she didn't know 30 minutes before. And Lindsay said, why is her engagement about Danielle? And this is my other thing is like, someone is clearly hurt. And if you want to hurt them, that is fine. But don't just like go back with a question. Be like, listen, we weren't good. Why would I have told you? Like, or like something. Just be like, I do think that would hurt you.
Yeah, it just seems like Lindsay's unwilling to acknowledge Danielle's pain at every step of the way.
That's it. Yeah. So
like the engagement isn't about Danielle, but what Danielle is saying is I am hurt. And Lindsay's like, I don't give a fuck that you're hurt. I got engaged.
I think that's the other thing is Danielle, though her feelings are inappropriate, are valid. Because I think I would also
her expression of her emotions on the day of the engagement, very inappropriate.
Like I said, I would also be hurt. I wouldn't have done what Danielle did. Yeah. But I then, if I wanted to, could go to my friend and be like, I was hurt. Here are my feelings. And I would want those to be acknowledged.
Like a week later.
Yeah. Like you're engaged and happy now. Can we talk about like, I'm not making, I mean, Danielle did make the engagement about her, but let's say she acted better and then came to Lindsay with this, she like wouldn't have
you have cut me out of your life. Yeah. Can we talk about that?
Yes. So Danielle asks again, didn't you think I would be hurt? And Lindsay brings up being hurt by everything Danielle said this summer, which 2 wrongs don't make the right. Okay, so Danielle's basically like, oh, because I had an opinion of how it was moving too fast, you want to cut me out. And Lindsay just goes, correct.
I was kind of shocked she was honest.
That was kind of hilarious. Honestly, it was kind of hilarious. So Danielle is so upset now. And now I need to note, so Craig and Amanda have been listening on the side of the stair or on like
right by the
front door this whole time. So then Sierra and
Maya, I would do this in a heartbeat. Yeah.
So actually, I would probably be Sierra and Maya trying to come in, but like this Craig is signaling to me to not come in. So then Craig goes outside and is like, Sierra, Maya, it's World War III in here, like a war zone. I would have been Sierra, like to the front door so we can listen.
Yes.
She fucking sprinted. She's like, we gotta go. So it's so funny. So then Danielle says she's been there for Lindsay. And like, wouldn't she want Lindsay to be happy? Like, wouldn't she want to celebrate Lindsay? And Lindsay goes, she didn't think that Danielle wanted her to be happy. And Lindsay says, because
that's such a bullshit thing to say.
As soon as she started dating Carl, Danielle said no. And I was like, no, Danielle said it was weird.
Yeah, like what is no? There's nobody would ever just go, no.
No, actually, if my friends ever date some loser, I'm gonna be like, no.
I'm gonna do that. The next time you're dating someone and I meet them, I'm just gonna go, no.
The only way this would work is like if one of your best friends started dating like the psychopath from high school that you fucking hate, and she tells you and you go, no. Just no.
But like that is just not even Danielle's style.
No, so Danielle says it wasn't like that. She would have been there for Lindsay. And Danielle said she would have done anything for Lindsay. And Lindsay goes, I'm sure.
Like Lindsay just won't even participate in this conversation, which is really upsetting.
That one hurt. That one was like, So then Danielle tells Lindsay to lose her fucking smug face. Which I'm like, Danielle's lost it now. Danielle's gonna only lose the argument because she's losing control of her emotions.
Yeah, she's like tornadoing in her emotions right now. Yeah, she's just
so Danielle is so mad because Lindsay is done and doesn't care. And like Danielle's just trying to explain her side. And Danielle says Lindsay's coming with no emotion and can tell Lindsay doesn't give a fuck about this friendship. And Lindsay goes, okay. And so then Danielle says she would have taken the clothes off her back for Lindsay. And now she knows that she was a fucking idiot. And then Danielle says, we're done. And Lindsay says, we've been done, sweetheart. You're not invited to my wedding. And
that ending.
To call someone sweetheart is like the ultimate kind of fuck you.
Well, and to say that like we've been done.
There, you didn't go it. Listen, here's my other thing. I understand Lindsay wanting to be done.
Yes.
I get that. And I think those are valid feelings too. But to not express that, to just like condescend Danielle and then be like, I've been done with you. You have to break up with her. It just to me feels like Lindsay does not give a shit about Danielle at all. That's exactly what it looks like. Like she's moved on, clearly has no regard for Danielle. And that just is soul crushing to be like tossed aside. Like, I think people don't see friendship breakups as often, like at this magnitude. But if you think about being ghosted by a boy and how devastated you are, can you imagine if after a 7-year relationship, your boyfriend ghosted you? I knew someone they were older, but after like 8 years, the boyfriend looked at her and was like, I just don't see a future with you, and fucking left. That would kill me. Devastating, right? All those emotions Danielle is feeling are so valid, and Lindsay validates none of them. Yeah. But she doesn't even have, this is what makes me sad. Lindsay doesn't have the decency to be like, look, Danielle, like I'm ending this friendship. Yep. I just don't think Lindsay can ever hold other people's emotions. Like hold and it's space sad for because them. All Danielle has done for 7 years is hold Lindsay's emotion. Yes. And Danielle says one thing about this relationship being weird or moving too fast. And Lindsay's like, I'm done. Yeah. It's sad. It's very sad. I think the way Danielle reacted to the engagement was a big no for Lindsay. I just wish Lindsay did have the capacity to like break up with Danielle. Or just have an honest conversation of like, that wasn't cool. Like I would never have done that to you. But I think Lindsay's argument gets lost in a lot of her terrible communication style. Like not caring. Yeah. Like even if she had not cared, if she just communicated her issues, it just seems like she constantly shuts Danielle down. Yeah. For like feeling things. Yeah. Even when before the engagement, right? She said, I feel like this friend or like this relationship's weird. Lindsay wasn't like, why do you think it was weird? She was like, nope, and wrong answer. Like Danielle's not ever allowed to have conversations about her feelings in relation to Lindsay and Carl's relationship, her relationship with either of them, or just in general. So like, what can you talk about? It's sad because I do love Hub House. And I think like if she wants to end this friendship, fine. I wish she had done it better. This is why I can't be on Team Lindsay. Like I cannot look at these moments and like support someone like this because I could not have someone like this in my life. It hurt. It truly hurt to watch. Yeah. What really got me was we've been done, sweetheart. Yeah, I know Gabby said that Danielle's gonna have the most to answer for at the reunion, and I think as far as the engagement goes, like she will. 100%. But I do hope like this is talked about where Lindsay just basically either has to say I stopped caring and I like the friendship was done on my side at X date, or it's gonna be wild too because the reunion was filmed before this aired, obviously. So but they get access to it. Yeah, but the questions that the fans are going to submit are going to be very pro Lindsay. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of fans be like, I'm not as pro Lindsay as I was, or I think I flipped. Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of TikToks about it. It's like this conversation just was not good. It was bad. It was really bad, I think, for Lindsay. Yeah. So Danielle walks like away into the front door area and sees everyone listening. And at first everyone's like, haha, we listen. And then Danielle collapses crying and everyone's like, oh, fuck. So they hug her. Mm-hmm. I don't think Danielle was, first of all, it looked wild in the trailer. It was not that I know. They really made it look like she like kind of like half fainted, like couldn't breathe. Yes. This, I think she was so overwhelmed. I think if no one was there, she would have stormed into the bathroom and then cried or something. Yes. here, I think she just saw everyone and was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And just started like being like, did you hear that? That was why, because she has to like process it now with these people.
And I forget who like kind of got to her first, but I think somebody holding on to her made her like,
or Maya. Maya was like,
made Danielle like actually like fall down and then like sit down and like not want to stand.
Yeah.
And be like held.
They heard the whole thing. Danielle is crying and says that she's really happy that everyone's here. The girls want to give Danielle this pure love, and Danielle says she's happy for them and will root, or she's happy for like Lindsay and Carl and will root for them, but she's going to be further on the sidelines than she thought, which like, again
shows everything.
You got to give it to Danielle to not be like, what a bitch. In fact, she's like, she is in the maddest she should be. And she's still, this is a 40-year-old. This is a drunk 40-year-old. Like, especially if I'm drunk, I'm like, that bitch.
She has so much love for them. She just knows she can't put her heart through it, but it does not change how she feels about them and like what she wants for them. I'm not that good of a person.
Me neither. I would have immediately been like, I hope they fucking get divorced because I'm a horrible petty person.
Yes.
That's why don't argue with me when I'm drunk. I'll say something I'll regret. So then Lindsay and Carl talk, and Lindsay says the conversation wasn't civil at all, and that Danielle was all heated and Lindsay was super chill.
I don't feel like it was actually that heated. I think Danielle was just louder.
I think she got heated once Lindsay was like, I'm sure. And like,
but not like mad heated. It was just like very emotional.
It was
like
passion.
Drunk.
It was very much
a lot of alcohol involved.
Yeah. So Lindsay says Danielle is the one that abandoned this friendship, which I don't think is true. I think she fucked up this friendship. I don't think she abandoned it.
Agreed.
But I think she's still on this door of friendship.
Yes.
So Kyle then walks over, or no, Kyle and Craig first talk, and Craig's like, dude, I thought there was going to be swinging. And I was like, it wasn't that heated.
No.
But like, oh man, Lindsay and Danielle. And Kyle's like, oh my God, they talked? I'm so excited. Craig's like, nah, Lindsay's a good fighter and she's sober and it didn't end well. They're not going to the or like, Danielle's not invited to the wedding. So then Kyle walks over to Lindsay and Carl. And he's like, hey, it didn't work. And Lindsay's like, no, it wasn't productive. And then Kyle's like, okay. And he starts saying his thoughts. And then Lindsay's like, you know what? I've done enough talking. And she leaves. Kyle's like, okay.
She's never willing to discuss things.
She's not willing to discuss her relationships, right? She's not willing to discuss her friendship with Danielle. She's not willing to discuss her relationship with Carl.
But she's also not willing to let other people discuss them either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so you can't be on a show like this.
We're on a TV show.
If you're if things are off limits, like this just isn't working for your life anymore.
I think that's it. It's not working for her life. So the problem for Carl is that Danielle is dealing with a lot internally. And he believes that in this world, or there is a world where Lindsay and Danielle are not friends. But okay, I want to be like, Carl, if she's dealing with a lot internally, have you actually asked her what she's dealing with?
That when he said that, it actually angered me even more. I was like, okay, so you can see your friend struggling and you're like, see,
she shouldn't be coming for us.
Yeah.
She shouldn't be coming for
me.
They're
like, oh, she's probably misplacing her anger, but you're not like, oh, let me go see how I can help my friend through what probably is a terrible time in her life and I don't know what it's about.
Yeah.
Like I would feel like such shit if I thought my friend was going through a horrible time and I had no idea what it was about.
And instead you just like stared at her and was like, stop being mad at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danielle honestly probably is mad at them that they haven't been like, hey, what's wrong?
Yes. I think it's a lot of things.
Yeah, I think there's just
at this point in the summer, it's a lot. Yeah.
There's so much. We could write a dissertation on it. So Maya and Danielle then talk. Maya tells Danielle that Lindsay was antagonizing, and Danielle's like, you're right, I'm ready to party. So then Maya and Oliver really ignore each other again, and then Paige and Craig talk, and Paige says Danielle is, crying because she's mourning a friendship, and Lindsay is laughing and giggling because she doesn't care.
That was very interesting to see.
And so Danielle goes inside. She does this whole thing where she's like, woo, I'm tired. She like walks into the bathroom and then sobs as soon as she's like off camera.
Broke my heart.
So Maya, Sierra, and Paige talk. They talk about the conversation with Lindsay and Danielle and how Danielle sees where the other girls are like coming from now and all their thoughts on Lindsay. And then Maya is like very checked out and she's like, I'm gonna go get a water.
I think
and
she's watching
leaves.
Oliver.
I think so too. And can you imagine just someone really like if one of my drunk friends and I had no idea was like, I'm gonna go get a water, I'd be like hammered bitch.
Well, I would also be like, what grabbed her attention? Like she was very distracted and they can tell. And so they start talking about Oliver.
Yeah, I think Maya and Oliver are fighting, but she doesn't want to say it. You can tell Sierra's more open to talking about this on camera than Paige is. Paige is kind of like, I don't know. And Maya's like, yeah, I think or Sierra's like, yeah, I think they're fighting.
Which is like interesting. She hasn't really said much.
Show up.
Oh, yes. I need this on camera. It really angered me more and more as the episode went on.
Good for Sierra. So Sierra says that she has heard Maya say that Maya's going to end things with Oliver, but they don't know what it is. So then Kyle goes upstairs with Amanda. He loves Amanda's butt. He has to go muff diving. She says no. Carl's not a very good griller. So Lindsay like yells at him.
I was kind of shocked.
He tells Lindsay to relax.
They seem very tense often with each other. It doesn't feel like they're
I
like
think Lindsay's
chill.
a big personality.
Yeah.
Lindsay's just probably like, you're not stirring the pasta correctly. And Carl's probably like, oh, well, like it reminds me a lot. This is going to sound bad. It reminds me of like a Lauren, like Lindsay and Lauren both have these big, hard personalities.
Lauren from
like,
the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. Like when Lauren would totally be like, Carl, you tied your shoe wrong. Like Lindsay would say something like that.
They'll just give him like criticism.
I think Lindsay has shown Carl more love that he's willing to deal with it. They already act like they're married though, like for 50 years at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Kyle changes outfits. Amanda says she loves him even though he's annoying and they want to have kids in the house, no matter how mean Amanda is. So then Maya and Corey are having like a liquid fight in the kitchen. I think it's beer, but it could be Licky D.
Yeah.
But we don't know. And if you don't know what Licky D is, sorry, it's liquid death water. I couldn't tell. That's what you ever have liquid death?
Yeah.
The best water on earth. Anyway, Maya then slips on the liquid. Funny. And then she chases Corey outside with pineapple juice. And then Gabby, Paige, and Oliver inside, and then Gabby slips on the liquid.
This was so funny.
And Oliver's fucking dying. He does not even offer it out to Gabby.
Because this is like normal roommate stuff. You know, I feel like that's kind of what we miss sometimes in that was season. Hilarious. Is just like the random spontaneous little shit that they all do together.
But Corey does it. Corey and Chris do a great job doing roommate shit.
Yeah.
Because it usually is, I'm not saying the girls aren't good, but like it usually is boy shenanigans that are like the funniest. But like I enjoy Maya getting involved, and like Gabby and Sam have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kyle pees while making eye contact with Paige and Craig. Chris throws literally everyone in the pool, including Lauren in her fairy feathers.
This got me excited though, because they used to end every season skinny dipping in the pool.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I was like, all right, here we go. We're gonna do it.
Yeah. So then Oliver and Maya, they go upstairs. She's like, hey, come to the bathroom. And then right before they're in Maya's room, she's goes,
like, you mic'd up?
Cover your mic. Which, girl, have you not seen The Housewives? This never fucking works. Covering your mic?
And like, we're going to catch that on camera, like on mic anyways. So we're going to know that you're trying to evade shit.
If anything, the producers are just gonna make up shit that it sounds like and will probably make you sound worse. Like they're not gonna not air this scene.
Well, they're gonna turn up your mic so loud. They're gonna get this. You gotta turn off your mic. Turn it off.
We find criminals now, okay? Like we have technology to figure out what you're saying under your fucking hand.
It would be hard to go all day, like needing to have a conversation with someone, but you are like living in 24/7 surveillance that you can't really do it.
No.
But what I would do is I'd be like, before the party starts, I would go over to Oliver's and have this conversation and be like, do not come to the party.
Yeah. Great. So Maya basically tells him that he shouldn't be here today. Oliver says his goal was to be here for her. Maya said she needs a break. And he like, he's talking to other girls behind the bar, and Maya tells him to leave and pull his shit together. And then she goes, "So why would you cheat on me?" And Oliver says he wants to figure this out, and Maya's crying. And Oliver says he wants to be there for Maya, and she's crying. And then she tells him to leave, and with his mic still covered, he walks out of the bathroom.
Oh my God.
I was sent. He like walks out.
Like
I was
holding,
like, oh
yeah.
my God. You not slick, dude.
These microphones are too good. Like they're gonna get everything.
So
like technology has advanced.
He leaves. Also, we hear shit when you take off your mic and like
Yes.
sleep. Like
Yes.
those other cameras have fucking
microphones.
mics. Like we got it. So hot fucking hilarious. Oh, not funny Oliver cheated on Maya.
No,
but
no,
hilarious
no.
that they tried to cover
Horrible.
Mike.
I just wish she wouldn't have tried to like quote unquote hide this because it made it so dumb.
Listen, there's a lot of cheating scandals, girl, and I am so sad that you have been cheated on. I don't know what these men are on this year that they think they can fucking do this shit. But like,
rip him a new one on camera,
let's see it. Let's have the girls go. Let's have Paige. Set Paige loose, man. She has not yelled at enough people this season.
What I think she's doing in this moment is like protecting him, which like bless her heart for like not putting this on camera or like not wanting to. But no, set it loose.
You got to pull an Ariana. Call the cameras as soon as you know something and say,
yeah.
fucking get it on camera.
If I was done wrong, you bet your ass I'm putting it on camera.
What Ariana say? You think he's going to cheat on me and get away unscathed?
No. Never.
That's the mindset, Maya. Never.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. Oliver leaves. Anyway, so Craig tells Kyle that Maya and Oliver had a conversation and things sounded pretty serious. And then Chris keeps throwing everyone in the pool. And then Matt and Gabby are hugging. And I think Matt's trying to kiss her.
I think so too.
I think he only gets like her cheek or something because she's like talking when you hear a kissy noise. So I don't really think that he kissed her that much. And then Paige kicks everyone out. And then Danielle is in her room with these friends that we've never met. And she just wants to go home. And she just expected it to go in a different way. But her friends put her to bed. That's the worst when you're drunk sad because you're not going to forget why you're sad.
And you're just like so broken.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
hard
you're
to
in
go
the
to bed.
same clothes you fell in a pool in. It's rough.
It's terrible. I hate this for her.
Yeah. So then the group goes skinny dipping, and Kyle, I like that Kyle's the one to end it because part of me wants this to be a lot of the old people's last season where Carl says this, or not Carl, fuck Kyle.
You did say Kyle earlier, so you're good.
What are these white men's names? So Kyle says the summer was super different because Carl, Lindsay, and Danielle are fighting, and Maya hates Oliver, and Kyle's just bummed out, but he knows we can figure this out. And then everyone jumps in the pool except Danielle. And I would just like to thank Chris, Kyle, Carl, Craig, and Corey for an awful season of me remembering all these white men names. It's not even like a cool one like Carlos. Like at least that's a Latin name. Like they're all white people names.
That's true.
They're all the same name as far as I care.
Terrible.
Chris, Corey,
Kyle, Craig. What a terrible time for Alicia.
Oh my God.
You've done your best.
As someone who's unintelligent like me, we should really change names. I miss Andrea and Luke so much. Okay, so next time on the Summer House reunion, emotions are raw. Danielle confronts Lindsay again. Kyle calls Lindsay emotionless. Andy says they should have never been friends. We discuss Kyle's mullet. Sierra's Kyle's hall pass, but she would never. Oliver cheated on Maya with 11 women.
Ooh.
Which, wow, that's
a lot.
You not let him get off unscathed.
No.
Gabby confronts Sierra about writing her off. Carl admits he showed up to work coked out, but Kyle and Carl reconcile. Lindsay brings up the word weird again, and everyone's like, Lindsay and Carl lie and spin, and then Paige says they don't have jobs. Which, I don't know what that's gonna be, but that is so funny.
It is because Lindsay says like this is like such an expensive like bit, and Paige is like, yeah, it's really weird because you guys don't have jobs.
I need to hear the
She's
full.
So good at like comments.
I need to hear the full like breakdown of that conversation, but
Me
that
too.
is so funny. Okay, there's another cheating rumor on Kyle. There's clearly two sides because you see Gabby questioning like the older girl, or how do I say this? It's clearly Carl, Lindsay, Gabby, Chris, and Sam and Corey on one side.
Yeah.
And then Kyle, Amanda, Danielle, Sierra, Lindsay, or
No.
Paige, Maya on
Yes.
the other. So then something is not out there because Danielle held onto it to protect Lindsay and Carl.
Which, like, woof, give me that.
Give me that. That's
Because
in
there were a
part
few
two.
times where like Lindsay and Carl would say like Danielle hasn't told us like what the actual problem is, and it's like, well, did she tell you in private to like help you?
Yeah, honestly.
Lindsay and Carl have done a lot of interviews. That this like spin narrative at the reunion, I'm very curious what the other cast members have to say.
I am too. I'm interested with the spin thing. They spin and they lie.
Yeah, like, so what are they saying and what is the truth?
Because
like,
they've really, I think Danielle's only done one interview, whereas Carl and Lindsay have done many.
A lot of interviews.
Together and separate.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're wrong for doing that because the world is Team Lindsay, and they're the ones that are engaged.
But here's the thing, she was in PR. She knows how to get ahead of a narrative.
That's true.
I don't think it was by like it was not, she did it purposefully, whether they're right or wrong. I think she had intent of getting their story out no matter what.
I don't know, she's smart.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's genius.
We'll see. So we gotta do fun, not fun. Whoever we pick will alter the state of our pick.
Really?
I think. Okay, so do you want to do not fun first?
I'm going Lindsay. I think that was so cruel the way she ended that conversation. I just can't do it.
That's fair. I might just pick Carl because you're right. I don't know what he's mad about.
I'm so fucking confused every time that man is on my screen because sometimes he'll be happy-go-lucky and he'll be chill with the word weird, and then the other minute he's not.
Yeah, he was okay with weird.
But like, I need him to explain it. Like, you can change your emotions, but I need you to tell me in your interviews then what's going on.
Yeah. So who's your fun?
I'm gonna go Kyle. I loved his two outfits. I think he's doing a really good job of navigating the middle between Danielle, Lindsay, and Carl while trying to keep the group like as healthy as possible for this show. But I just think he's in a really good place overall, so I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to pick Kyle, but I'm not going to do that because I want to spread the love. Although I did love Kyle. I think I'm gonna pick. Oh man, I don't know. What did people do? What happened this episode?
Not a lot. You can pick Kyle.
I'm also gonna pick Kyle. I think it's just right to pick him at the end.
Yeah.
I think
what if it's his last season?
He is the voice of reason. He is nothing but fun.
He really is.
This podcast how to have a good time. Basically an homage to Kyle, if you will.
An ode to Kyle Cook.
So, okay, do you want to guess? We have a tie for not fun. So I'll give you two guesses. Who do you think was our most not fun this season?
Lindsay.
And?
I'm going to go Danielle.
Okay, you got one. Danielle was not fun 8 times, but her tie partner is Carl with 8.
I knew it had to be like 2 of the 3.
Lindsay came in a third with 5. Okay, who do you think was most fun?
I think Kyle has a good shot at it.
Kyle is most fun with 6. And then before today, he was tied with Sam and Paige in a 3-way tie.
Interesting that Paige was up there.
Yeah.
She had some good lines throughout the season. That's probably where
Chris honestly got picked a good amount. I always wonder, like, should I net them maybe once in a while to be like, okay, if Danielle was like not fun 8 times, but she was fun 3 times, and that's to 5.
Yeah.
You know, to see how that would go. I think Kyle would still. No, Kyle and Paige and Sam would then he was not fun twice.
Knocked down. Yeah.
So he would have still done that. And then if we did that.
To be honest, I like a character who can be fun and not fun. Like, I need you to have an up and down season.
That's true. If we netted our not fun, Carl would have been he was not fun pick. He was not our fun pick once. So sorry about that one, dude. Even Robert made it on the fun list. Okay, so let me tell you about some thoughts. So Brittany, our patron of the episode, said Danielle is unhinged or unwell. She was never excluded from the proposal. Carl told her he was ring shopping. That's true. I always forget Carl did tell her that she was ring shopping. She was invited to the engagement party and saw Lindsay literally an hour later. Her behavior is irrational to me. She has pushed Lindsay all summer and is suddenly surprised that Lindsay is cold, unapologetically team Lindsay. Love her stone cold exterior. She's done, and I would be too. Listen, Brittany, I love me Lindsay. I thought she was a little harsh. I did.
I just think she needs to man up and woman up and have a conversation with Danielle. If you're gonna do it, own it.
I understand. I do think she was a little crazy, but Danielle's behavior was irrational. And I do always forget Carl told her, like, just because I feel like all of my friends' boyfriends had called me and been like, hey, I'm proposing on this day.
Yeah.
Like, they all let me know because
there's a new standard. I'm just going to put it out there. There's kind of a new standard. You really let in the friends know, and not 30 minutes before.
Because listen, there's usually a surprise, like there had been.
Yeah.
And so you prepare the best friends for that surprise. And he did tell every other best friend.
Yes. Here's the thing. If they weren't filming a show, I saw Kristen Cavallari and what's his name? Who is
Justin?
It from? Yeah.
Steven.
They're doing their podcast, and I just saw a clip on TikTok about Kristen said she used to doubt people's intentions a lot because she would say, like, if there wasn't a show, they wouldn't be having this conversation with me. If there wasn't a show, they wouldn't do X, Y, Z. And I like, if there wasn't a show, would Danielle even have been at this party? Probably not.
That's true. That I think also, because if there wasn't a show, Paige, Maya, they wouldn't have been invited. Wouldn't have been there either. But like, would Danielle have been notified to get there?
I don't think so.
And then Brittany says Maya is fake, D and S, and utterly useless. Hope she does not return. Fuck that.
I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
Fuck that. Okay, Dustin said watching Sierra comfort Danielle as a fucking Smurf is too fucking funny. Great episode just for that.
That was pretty funny.
Avatar, which I've never seen, but could also be a Smurf.
So bad. Don't recommend.
Jackie said, so my final feelings on Lindsay and Danielle is they both wanted different friendships in the end, and neither was willing to budge for the other. Danielle wanted the same super close best friendship, and Lindsay no longer in need of that or wanted that, and no compromise could be found. Sucks, but sometimes you outgrow a friendship, and I think they outgrew each other. Yeah. I agree. I think they're in different stages, and I don't think that they want
and have different needs out of friends. That's the huge one.
That's it. Lindsay doesn't need Danielle unless she's
in a bad spot. Yeah.
But Danielle constantly needs Lindsay, whether that be for her own support or to support Lindsay. Yeah. So Tierney said, this episode is a finale. Meh. Honestly, that's just about how I feel about the whole season. I'm ready for the finale and to hear what everyone has to say.
Yeah, I'm over the season.
Yeah, I'm excited for the reunion. This finale was lackluster. After Vanderpump airing at the same time as this, that was a big mistake.
But even if Vanderpump wasn't airing, I don't think I would like this season.
No, it just makes it worse.
But what I will say is Summer House always serves on the reunions. Like, they confront each other really well.
Listen, they're New Yorkers.
They have the art of an argument. Yeah. They don't all scream and yell. I mean, they will at times, but like, they don't just all scream and yell over each other, so points can't be made. They're really good at letting each other talk.
They show up for their job. And I think the other thing is that they are friends in a sense that they share Summer House together, but like Paige and Lindsay will never be friends.
No.
But they're gonna go lethal because this is the only time, right? For the sake of Summer House, they're not gonna go at each other.
Yeah.
And they have to live together. But so reunion is like a free pass to argue for them.
And I think because you get a month, 2 months before you actually go film the next season, you're like, let's get everything out from last season and we'll start fresh. Like I think they start every season
they have to
really well off.
And I think Kyle does a good job of being like, okay, everyone, new shit, it's fine. Except that one season he wrote a 13-page email, but I digress.
Hilarious.
He does.
But that wasn't because of the reunion. It was because of an Instagram
That's
post.
True. So yeah, I think Kyle goes into it as dad being like, we start fresh.
Yeah.
Bury the fucking hatchet or you can't come to the Summer House, basically.
It seems like a big discussion at the reunion is going to be that Lindsay and Carl are not friends with everybody on the opposite side. They're only friends with the new people. And so if this show is based off friends, how are they going to keep going?
I think Amanda's forced to be their friend. But it's true. I am pro get rid of almost everyone. Leave those 4 newbies and build a show. Chris and Corey could be such a good duo.
Agreed. Like I want to see Corey wingmanning for Chris.
Yeah, and I want Chris to like jump on bed when Corey and Sam are having sex. Like I want the madness of like childhood kids.
Yes. 100%.
And then I want Gabby there to be like, you guys are so stupid. And then I need Sam there, obviously. And then add in Jason from Winter House because he will never do Summer House, but just add him in because I think he's a fun addition. Add in Julia or Jessica, whichever blonde that you want. Just pick one, please.
We're not taking Jessica because she is hooked up with Corey. We're not risking Sam and Corey.
Okay. So Julia, whichever blonde you please. And then build a new show. Bring on, I don't know, Chris has to have friends, right? Bring one of Chris's friends.
What was the guy on the show tonight?
Yes, he sword fought some guy.
Yeah, bring him on.
Yes, anyone. And then if you want to have Paige and Sierra in a bed, fine. But like that's as far as I think we need to go in the old people. Truly.
We'll see what happens.
Andrea, that's our other dude. Bring on Andrea, bring on Lexi.
Well, I mean, we'll see here in July. It's not too far off from when they'll start filming for next season.
Ooh, that's right. We're gonna see who's in the Summer House. Do we think Lindsay and Carl will be back?
No. And their wedding is in like 6 months, so it would not be on Summer House anyways. She posted a week ago.
Looking for a TV
like a spinoff,
like a moment. Do you think Kyle and Amanda will be back?
Yes.
Like honestly.
Yes.
Okay. Paige, Sierra, Maya.
Yes.
To all 3?
I would think the network would tell Maya she's done. I don't think Maya would say she's done.
Do you think Danielle's done?
If Carl and Lindsay are there, she's done. If Carl and Lindsay are not there, I think Danielle will stay. She kind of has not much going on.
Yeah.
No diss, but like she's out of a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like this would kind of like keep her life spinning, which I totally respect that.
Shit. Okay. Well, I guess we will see. Chris, I hope to see you again. We tend to lose these men like every season.
I know, Chris, please stay around. Dustin, did you come around on Chris? That's the real question.
That's the question. So thank you for listening. We will do the reunions, do all the things. We cannot wait.
Thanks for joining. Bye.